People often think that if they want someone to notice them, they have to try harder, text faster, show up more, explain themselves more clearly. But the truth is the opposite. People are attracted not to what they understand, but to what they don't yet understand. Unpredictability isn't a manipulation game. It's a sign of someone with a rich inner life that can't be read in a few messages. When you don't respond right away, it's not because you're distracted. It's because you have a world going on out there. And it's that world that makes people curious, like a book with a bookmark, but closed. One can't bear not knowing what's inside. Ask yourself, do you live to be understood completely, or to be understood in parts? Genuine unpredictability doesn't create distance, it creates depth. And depth is always more compelling than any explanation. Humans naturally seek routine, predictability, but it's the unpredictability that keeps our minds on edge. When you don't respond right away, when you keep a part of your schedule to yourself, you don't create distance. You create a void that the other person has to fill with their imagination. And imagination is always stronger than reality. Unpredictability isn't intentional disappearance. It's a sign of someone whose life is full, not dependent on anyone's reaction. Like a still lake, we don't know how deep it is, but the stillness makes us stop and stare. Ask yourself, if you told everyone everything about yourself, what would make others want to know more? In a noisy world, the most attractive things are always the things that are not easy to read, not easy to touch. But in the moment someone tries to push you into an argument, most people's instinctive reaction is to raise their voice, get defensive, and respond emotionally. But that's also when we unwittingly give them power, because whoever controls your emotions controls you. A calm person is not someone who has no emotions. They just keep it inside, like a rock standing firm in a strong wind. When everyone expects you to explode, but you choose to stay silent, that silence speaks the loudest. Calmness creates depth. Depth creates distance, and that distance is an attraction that no explanation can replace. Take a second to ask yourself, are you living by other people's reactions, or by your own standards? Remember, calmness is not weakness, it is the power of self-mastery. There are connections that aren't formed by words, but by the invisible rhythm between two people. When you mirror someone's tone, pace, and energy, their brain instantly recognizes you as familiar. That familiarity makes them feel safe, and safety opens the door to trust. But mirroring is not imitation, it is the ability to be fully present, to observe so closely that you can feel the other person's breathing. Like two streams of water flowing side by side, not touching, but naturally in sync. The desperate person will imitate to be noticed. The calm person reflects only to understand, not to possess. Ask yourself, are you really listening or just waiting for your turn to speak? When you reflect with presence, rather than with desire to attract, a natural connection occurs, silently, gently, but more powerful than any statement. People crave what is not easily available. A constant presence becomes a backdrop. A restrained presence becomes a highlight. When you are not always available, you inadvertently leave the other person wondering, where is he? What is he doing? And why is that more important than being here with me? It is those questions that create attraction. Sometimes disappearing for a bit isn't about manipulation, but about reminding yourself that you have a real life. Goals, time, space. A well-timed absence is like light in a dark room. The less you have, the more precious it is. Like gold, no one desires something that is available on every corner. Ask yourself, do you want to be seen a lot? Or do you want to be remembered a long time? True scarcity doesn't create alienation. It creates value. And value always attracts people. Attraction doesn't come from trying to impress. It comes from the feeling you leave behind. There are people who talk a lot but touch nothing. And there are also people who only need a thoughtful question, a timely smile, or a gentle step back when challenged, to make the other person remember them forever. People are drawn to emotional contrasts, sometimes warm, sometimes cold, sometimes close, sometimes distant. Not because they enjoy the game, but because the difference in emotions makes a stronger impression than any gift. Remember, You don't have to win every challenge. Sometimes taking a step back allows others to follow. Like a good piece of music, not because of the steady melody, but because of the unexpected lows that make you stop and listen. When she can't figure out how you make her feel, her mind searches for the answers. And in the process, you become unforgettable. There is a kind of charisma that requires no words, no tactics, no effort to impress. It is the charisma of a man who is on his own path. When you are invested in your mission, you don't need anyone to validate your worth. Your worth radiates from the act of moving forward, slowly, but never stopping. Other people, especially women, feel that energy very clearly. The energy of a person who is on the move, not caught up in momentary emotions, not letting a text message or a word derail her life. That concentration is like a stretched arrow. The closer it is to the target, the more penetrating it becomes. Stoic philosophy calls it the virtue of living one's own way. A purposeful life is quiet, but always commands respect. Ask yourself, are you running after someone, or are you moving towards what you were born to do? A man who knows his way around is naturally an irresistible attraction. In a world of noise, chaos, and competition, peace is a luxury, and a man who can give you that feeling always makes you want to be around him longer. You don't have to entertain, you don't have to overwhelm. Just being present with your own silence, that's different enough. When you're there, she feels relieved. When you're gone, your absence creates enough of a void for her to start missing you. It's not manipulation, it's a natural rhythm between peaceful and longing, a balance that very few people achieve. Like a candle in a dark room, it doesn't burn brightly, but everyone wants to keep it. Ask yourself, does your presence make others feel at peace or tired? When a woman feels safe when you're there, and a little nervous when you're not, you've entered the deepest realm of seduction. Ultimately, charisma doesn't come from looks or lyrical words. It comes from 7 simple yet profound principles of Stoicism: a healthy dose of unpredictability, calm in the storm, the ability to reflect energy, creating scarcity, activating emotions at the right time, living with purpose, and bringing peace to those around you. It all starts with one thing: self-control. And when you do that, you don't have to chase attraction. It will come to you. People are attracted to 2 things: security and what they don't understand. When you make someone feel both at once, you don't have to try. You're already on their mind. If these perspectives resonate with you, please subscribe to the Daily Stoic Light channel. Not to follow me, but to follow your own journey to a stronger and wiser you. Calm, strong, stoic, wise. We go on.